The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
Your favorite video series from WCBS is back, and this time, we found another mother load of Ollie's clearance, and a whole lot more. But before we head out into the stores, today's video is brought to you by me, Jeff Hicks, and my graphic novel, Stealing Solo. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. So we start our journey here at Ollie's, among the mountains of toys. Namely, Marvel toys, but a whole lot more. And as you can see here, we're starting off with some Thor, Love and Thunder, and maybe the king of all clearance, the Black Panther. And this Black Panther comes with a shield and a spear and a whole lot of other S-words. Well, at least it's full of a lot of S-words, but we're early on the video, so we can't say that yet. So when I was over on the Articulated Chad channel, we talked a lot about G.I. Joe, and you're going to see a lot of G.I. Joe in today's video, folks. This is one of the many Ollies we visit in today's video, and most of them you haven't seen before. Man, I'm so excited for the Ironheart show, said no one ever. But hey, at least they have the merchandise already out for it. Disney's really ahead of the curve this time, which is good. Sometimes you gotta play catch up, and you don't with the Black Panther stuff. Leave it on shelves, it'll stay there forever. Make a new movie, don't change the designs, you're already ahead of the curve. Oh, now, speaking of being ahead, no one's ahead of Namor in terms of availability at Ollie's. That is a lot of Namor. I don't know how far you can see back there, but it's all Namor. And, yeah, it's just far, far too many of them. See if we can get the camera to focus a little bit. There we go. There's all Namor back there. That's a lot of them. Multiply that row by 2, because that's how many there are. Yeah, it's a new record for superheroes on the store shelves. Now, Shang-Chi has to hold some kind of record, but, well, not a good one. There's our old pal, the Shuricopter, by the dozens. Folks, never fear, the Shuricopter will always be here. Ah, there's even more over here. Damn, I didn't even realize it, and I filmed this video. Now, I didn't put them together, but here's Han and Chewbacca, right by Ponda Baba. And there's a lot of these old man Han Solos from The Force Awakens. A lot of old man Han Solos. Let's see here. Let's zoom in, let's turn on the light, and as you can see, that's mostly old man Han Solo and Grand Moff Tarkin. So, people don't want old men action figures. That's not the case, they just don't want these old men anymore. Isn't it sad, too? I had Grand Moff Tarkin as a kid. He's the only Star Wars figure that ever broke, because I put him in the blender. Now, this isn't a figure that was out during the pandemic. This is very, very, very post-pandemic, and it's still here. Some of this stuff is very, very, very post-pandemic, so there's no excuse. And just look at this sky view of all the unsellable Marvel legends. Folks, if these don't move by Christmas, they're never gonna move. Speaking of things that have never moved, the Solo: A Star Wars Story Dead-Eye Chewbaccas, there's even more. They're like gremlins. They just multiply, and I didn't even feed them after midnight or get them wet. Giggity. So these little Star Wars ships that don't scale with the action figures are here by the dozens. We have more of the Mandalorian's Razor Crest. We just have everything. You name it, it's here. And look, a whole case of Captain Carter action figures are just chilling on the shelves. People really loved that character, right? I'm a little old for Fortnite, but Nerf guns are still cool, and luckily Ollie's has dozens and dozens of different varieties of Nerf guns. They say it's Nerf or nothing. Well, you gotta be pretty picky to go home with nothing, because there's a lot of Nerf. Maybe they should do a Ghostbusters Nerf gun. That'd be pretty cool. I'd buy that. For more than $1, actually. Now, we don't see these very often, these Thanos mechanical mech strike figures, and he's got the box punching action just like the old Chip Hazard I had back in the day. Shout out in the chat if you liked Small Soldiers. Now here's another franchise that has some action figures from Hasbro that are fairly new. I believe these dropped earlier this year, and they're already at Ollie's. Dungeons and Dragons. And if you didn't like the D&D cartoon that these action figures are based on, well, don't worry. We're going to dig a little deeper in just a minute and see something else D&D related. Namely, the D&D movie. Here we have Michelle Rodriguez, the action figure. Now, for the customizers out there, if you want to make a Letty action figure from the Fast and Furious, you know what to do. Ooh, Batman is still $20. No thanks. This is the toy aisle officially, and as you can see, it's Marvel and Marvel and Marvel and... Ah, Star Wars. Old Star Wars. Not vintage figures, just shit that's been on the shelves for 5 years. And here we have Dong Lover himself, the robot Lothario. Lando Calrissian is played by Dong Lover, or Don Glover for those who use punctuation in spaces. The Star Wars stuff is the stuff that seems to never move, next to one other object, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But the Star Wars Last Jedi figures, this collection isn't getting smaller, it's stagnant. This was that weird scale of Marvel figure I don't know why they make, and somebody stole a Black Panther. Isn't that kind of sad that somebody would have to resort to stealing that? Wait, there it is right there. Yeah, he's only $5. I don't think anyone's going to buy that one, but they're not buying the other ones either. And these are those damn Eternals disc launchers that have never sold. And what is this? Not Captain America. This Star Wars math set. Man, Chewie is going to learn a lot. Chewie's going to get his degree. He's going to leave Han Solo. He's going to get his own ship. I don't care. And neither do we care about Miss Marvel. Every Ollie's has 2 toy aisles, and the secondary toy aisle at this Ollie's is where the Shang-Chi figures live and die. And here's Captain Marvel, again! Another marvelous character to just rot on shelves eternally. Now on the way out, I noticed the book section had a couple new books, the Stan Lee book, but look! Star Wars The High Republic has now arrived at Ollie's, so you know it's officially shit the bed when a Star Wars property is at Ollie's. And you can pause here to read the back. That's exciting. No, but yeah, they have Light of the Jedi. And, hold on, wait. Lame of Thrones. Hold on, I gotta look at Lame of Thrones. Hold on, this is gonna be good. It's a toilet. Alright, now it belongs next to the Light of the Jedi. So we find new books that we haven't seen before among old books that we've seen for a long time, like Before the Awakening. I think Solo: A Star Wars Story, the junior novel, is fairly new. More High Republic on a low shelf. It is a bottom shelf piece of entertainment, might I add. Ah, Star Wars villains, Star Wars droids, and Grogu's journey. Let's hear how this sounds. Okay, that's enough. Reading is good, but not when it's The Adventures of BB-8. He's a soccer ball. And, oh my god, they finally have it. I've been waiting forever to read Ray to the Rescue. What's this one about? The fate of the galaxy depends on Ray.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
I'm sorry, I had to do that. So this is another outlet store, a discount store, and they have Star Wars The Mandalorian, the scooter. And of course, scooters are awesome only if they come with sticker sheets to unleash your creativity. And this is the bad boy in person, the store model. They wouldn't let me ride it, but then again, I didn't ask. So here we are at Target, where we're scoping out what's going to be at Ollie's in a few weeks' time. I guarantee you we're going to get a lot of the Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales, and this lady, the Cat Lady action figure, Agatha Harkness. Let's take a closer look at her from the Disney Plus series WandaVision that I haven't even thought about in a long time. It's kind of late to put these figures out. Like, put this out when the show's on the air, when people care. I don't care a year and a half later. I'm sorry. I don't care about the Spider Buggy either, but then again, I haven't cared about it ever because it's one of the worst ideas from the comics. Glad to see it's a toy, though. Now, when you go look at the Star Wars section, there's nothing from the sequel trilogy available. We have Return of the Jedi, we have Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian stuff, which is based on original trilogy characters, and we have Ahsoka. So we have Disney Plus stuff, original stuff. Every once in a while, a little bit of prequels will pop up, but nothing, and I mean nothing, from the prequels, the sequel trilogy. Now, we have Moff Jerjerrod, we have Reva, and we have something else you're going to want to hear, folks. This is all uncut audio.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in Action.
Yeah, I tried not to laugh in the store, but that lady, she made my day. How come they didn't put Rey in this box set? They put Bo-Katan. She's cool. I have no problem with her, but I thought Rey was the hero of the galaxy. Speaking of heroes and champions, there's the People's Champion The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Back to face off again. So you can find Rey and the rest of the sequel trilogy characters at the back of Target, and this is literally the oldest merchandise in the store. This is 4-year-old merchandise that has never moved. This is an old display that is not touched. I think I'm the first person to even look at it in the better part of a year. So this is Ross Dress for Less, and they already have Flash stuff. Now, the Flash was out just a few months ago, maybe like 5 months ago it was in theaters, and now it's at Ross Dress for Less. So we have a Batman set without Batman. We have the Batwing, we have the Flash, Supergirl, the villain, and no Batman. I wonder why it didn't sell. Either the movie sucked or the figure set without Batman doesn't move. My guess is both. Now on the way out, I was noticing these toys, and here's the Old Man Han Solo from Ollie's, but here he's only $5.99. At Ollie's, he was $9.99. And also, we have Ahsoka. So if you're wondering if you can find Ahsoka merchandise this holiday season, just go to Ross and get it for less. Now, Walmart didn't have much, but they did have this display of Cracky the Ewok with his lightsaber. I thought you'd want to see this yourself, too. Now here we are at another Ollie's, and this Ollie's is the Motherlode. This is probably one of the biggest toy dumps I've ever seen at an Ollie's. And it starts off with Star Wars. We have Boba Fett. Where? Here. Now we haven't seen an Everett Ross yet today. That's awesome. I wish I cared enough to pick him back up, but I don't. But we have more Black Panther, like the Claw Launcher. It's Nerf for nothing again. Transformers, Jet Jaguar, all kinds of cool stuff that has never sold. Well, Jet Jaguar is kind of cool, but that's a story for another time. I genuinely wonder what's going to happen to all these Marvel Legends. Like, where are they going to go? On the floor, apparently. Shang-Chi and Shuri. A match made in heaven. Now we're coming around the corner of the first aisle of all these toys. We have some Old Man Han Solos, more Wenwus, more Shang-Chis. God, just look at all this stuff. Ah, there he is again, Namor. Will we have as many as before? No, but we have quite a few Namors. Now this 6-piece drum set is kind of an odd choice for some Green Lantern branded merchandise, as well as this adventure pack with binoculars and a compass, and walkie-talkies. Hey, I guess Green Lantern's going to teach you for how to survive out in the wild. You know, if you're ever stranded out in the wild, just take a Shuricopter or two and melt it down for warmth. It'll burn forever, just like the box office of the Marvels. Getting a nice shot up top of everything. And there's that Netflix logo. You know, that Masters of the Universe show that Kevin Smith screwed up. More models, more Thanos, more Nerf. It's everywhere. Parents out there, you can't cheap out on Christmas 2023. Go to Ollie's and get your kids name brand stuff like Nerf. Now, this is the next toy section. As you can see, this is a massive amount of unsellable Disney, Hasbro, Marvel, you name it. It's at Ollie's for a reason. Fortnite's here too. More of the G.I. Joe. We have the Baroness, we have some other lady, and we have a lot of them. That's the main takeaway. We have a lot of everything. And even more Black Panther. What a surprise. And, oh shit, a Hugh Grant action figure. You know, if this thing wasn't $10, I'd have bought it because it's a Hugh Grant action figure, and it's kind of funny to me to have an action figure of Hugh Grant. I don't like D&D, but I don't dislike it either. I just didn't see the movie. But a quick head swap to have Hugh Grant in a suit? Sure, why not? What are we gonna get here? It's no more. No more. What do we got? About 2 dozen of these Black Panthers with the shield and the spear combo. I wonder how many of these things were produced and how many of them received or were received at Ollie's. Now this toy section is so big we have to take a pass, go around all this other crap, and show up over here for more. And what do we got down here? We got Vice Admiral Holdo. There she is. Everyone's favorite social pariah in space. At least she had the good sense to off herself. I've asked this before, but... Ugh, guys are back, man. I've asked this before, but is the Mission Fleet going to be the biggest disappointment in Star Wars? Maybe. Maybe. I believe the Human Torch was an exclusive at some point, but now he's at Ollie's, so I feel like an asshole for paying full price. I've learned my lesson. I won't be paying full price for Marvel merchandise anymore. Here's their toy aisle, and as you can see, it's populated by the usual denizens of the Black Panther, the Eternals, Age of Apocalypse Wave, Shang-Chi and his father Wen Wu, Grand Moff Tarkin, a couple G.I. Joes, and who else do we got? Zori Bliss, Thor, Iron Man, Buzz Lightyear, He-Man, Veronica from the Archie comic books, and whoever the hell Tessa Thompson plays in Thor. Not really a fan, but, you know, who is? $9.99 for the Star Wars Archive figures. That's half price than what they used to be at $19.99. Now they're like $24.99. Quality's not that much better. That's where Hasbro's really screwing up too, is they're charging so much for so little. I know it comes from the cost of the licensing going up, but maybe you should just stop. At some point, it's gotta not be profitable. Like, to have 2 boxes of M'Baku, like, that's money that was spent to produce and ship and sculpt and scan and do all those other things that make a toy possible. And they didn't work. They just sit here next to other Star Wars stuff and the Eternals. And as we always say, they're eternally on store shelves. Now, this is the girls' section of the aisle. We don't really talk about those toys, so let's just loop over here. Another Marvel end cap. I mean, they have more Marvel toys than they have pretty much anything else at Ollie's. And they sell food, they sell drinks, they sell books. Marvel Legends outnumbers everything, including chocolate bars and bubblegum. Now, this is new. We don't see a lot of Captain Marvel. I was trying to make her make sound, but turns out I was just feeling her up because you have to press the little gun to make a sound, so my bad, Brie. Good stuff. My ass, Ollies. I know you gotta sell this stuff, but come on, be a little more forthright. Good stuff cheap? No, just replace it as stuff cheap. Now, Iron Man's legit. Did I take him home with me? The answer is no. One last look at this giant display of failure before we move on. So here we are at another Ollie's, and we're going to go to the toy closeout section, up to 70% off prices. And here we are. This is our final Ollie's for the day, folks. And as you can see again, our usual denizens. We're bombarded with America Chavez. We're bombarded with Thor Love and Thunder. We're bombarded with the Marvel logo. And look, let's start off with all the Eternals. Man. Cool. Another box of Eternals. Awesome. You know, I used to complain about Rose Tico, but there are 6 Eternals, and you can find all of them readily available. And Namor, you can find him too. Look at this overhead shot. There are so many of them. It's driving me nuts. There's one. Let's have somebody else. Nope, another Namor. Who we got back here? Another Namor. Why am I surprised? It's not like they have Black Panthers left. All Namors. There's a Tuma, Ironheart, and more Shuri. Isn't it great that Shuri comes with the Shuri Copter, as well as the separate release action figure? You can have Shuris for days, like Ollie's. How many days ago were those Solo a Star Wars Story toys produced? And this Last Jedi toys from 2017? There are a lot of people alive on this planet that weren't born yet when those toys were produced. You know, I thought it was weird when Hasbro produced Jyn Erso for the second time, but I wasn't wrong. Speaking of wrong, this sticker is wrong because that says this is a Walmart exclusive, but this is Ollie's. There's no way Walmart would let something so precious as Star Wars be sold in an Ollie's, right? Wrong. They got these all over the place. This is just like another 50 Wenwu figures. Who wants 50 Wenwus? Do you want 50 Wenwus? I don't even want one. I have 0 Shang-Chi merchandise. It's just not for me. There's another dozen down there. Jesus. Oh, good. They got them in different scales, too. And it just keeps going and going and going. Now here's another Marvel Legends end cap, and it's full of Eternals, Doctor Strange, those damn disc launchers, and those shampoo bottle toys. Maybe I'll buy one of those disc launchers one day to see what it's about. Watch, the day I go to buy one is the day they happen to just sell out. Who am I kidding? There's literally 100 of these at all these Ollie stores. They'll probably just send them back before they ever sell out of them. Wonderful figures that will never sell. Wonderful subjective. This is the toy aisle proper. Again, we have Miss Marvel. This is a pre-pandemic figure, so don't give me that shit about, oh, poor distribution, blah, blah. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I am surprised that Thor Love and Thunder is such a popular thing here at these Ollie stores because people liked Thor. I didn't like Love and Thunder, but I thought I was the minority. Then I went into the real world and realized most people hated it as well. Just like this Eternals disc launcher and Admiral Holdo. Here's our final look at their other toy section. Again, I know they're getting ready for Christmas, but there's way too much of this Marvel and Disney Star Wars stuff around. Even old school Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi can't sell anymore. That's kind of sad. That's a little dark. Let's get some light on in here in a second and see what else they got. So we got Grand Moff Tarkin. There's the light. Old Man Han Solo. Whatever those dolls are. Let's keep on moving. More Mission Fleet, this time the Jedi Starfighter. I don't think we've seen one of those yet today. They're everywhere, I just don't think I filmed one yet. Anybody like US Agent? Let me know in the comments below. I think I've officially run out of things to say about Black Panther toys. I've been looking at them for well over a year, they've driven me mad, and now I'm back. And I don't even know what to say anymore. So it's Wakanda Forever on store shelves, the Eternals eternally on clearance. I wonder what else we're gonna... What the hell is this thing? Disco Animal, that's kind of cool. You know, as we get over here, I sense something. I feel like, what do I feel like? Like I'm being watched by Michael Burnham. Ugh. R.I.P. Star Trek. R.I.P. So folks, this was another trip through multiple Ollies. As you can see, the toy glut continues to grow. This isn't being cleared out yet for the holidays. This is the holiday stuff, and we gotta see if it sells. So follow WCBS for that and a whole lot more. Remember, folks, if you like these toy videos, we're the pioneers of them. So they go all the way back to 2017. So tag us on Twitter, talk to us here on social media, on YouTube, wherever you find us. Let us know what you think about the video. And before you go, folks, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to WCBS for more. We're now at 194K, so thank you to everyone who's recently joined us. And folks, if you really want something awesome, go to stealingsolo.com right now and get yourselves a copy of the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. Stealing Solo answers the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? It's been called Laugh Out Loud funny, people love it, significant others love it, everybody loves Stealing Solo. So get yourselves a copy for this holiday season. I ship out books all the time. By the time this video drops, I've just sent out another shipment of books. So order now, get yours shipped out very soon. But folks, I'm gonna get out of here. This is our longest toy video to date. So be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.